One of the most important prerequisites for implementing the comprehensive direct instruction model successfully with all children is to provide sufficient instructional time for each instructional group. Student success depends on the rate at which students master material presented in the DI programs. The schedule should include enough time for students to make adequate progress at mastery through the programs and allow teachers to accelerate higher performing students or provide additional practice to students having problems mastering concepts or skills. Specifically, schedules should include the following: a daily 90-minute reading block in the morning for all students, a daily 60-minute reading block in the afternoon for all students in grades kindergarten through first grade and those students who are below grade level expectations in grades 2 and above. To be at benchmark, students must complete the Reading Mastery Signature Edition level designated for their grade. For example, second grade children need to complete the grade 2 RM Signature level. Fourth grade children need to complete the grade 4 RM Signature level. Many continuing students will exceed these minimum benchmarks. Schedules also need to include an additional 60-minute block for language instruction after first grade when assistants are no longer available to instruct groups. An instructional assistant teaches language in kindergarten and also in first grade where possible, at the same time the teacher teaches reading. Successful implementations will include an additional 60-minute block for all grades in direct instruction mathematics, which is usually implemented the second year. Kindergarten students are taught math in 2 separate groups for 30 minutes each. All other grades are taught as whole class groups for the full 60 minutes. Schedules should also include common instructional times by subject for each grade level and, where possible, across grade levels. Schedules should provide the flexibility to group and regroup students across grade levels. In middle schools and high schools, 2 45-minute periods for students who place in corrective reading decoding A or B1. Ideally, the second period should be scheduled in the afternoon and provided in addition to a separate comprehension period. Having a schedule with sufficient instructional time is the first step. The second step is implementing the schedule so that precious minutes are not lost. It is critical that all staff understand that every second counts. Time lost in transition or simply starting late results in time not available for students to master the material. Note that students who receive 2 reading periods a day learn a great deal of science and social studies information. Science and social studies concepts are systematically pre-taught in the upper levels of the Reading Mastery program, integrated into the stories, and then reviewed to ensure students' retention of the material. Some schools have used no other science program, and their students have performed outstandingly on tests of their scientific knowledge. For a complimentary copy of Nifty's booklet on the science and social studies content taught in Reading Mastery, visit the link below.
Teachers cannot guarantee student success if students do not spend a sufficient amount of time in the DI programs. This is especially true for younger children who are in the early stages of formal learning. Young students have fewer problems when practice occurs twice a day instead of once every 24 hours. 2 reading periods a day is particularly helpful for highly at-risk students who have less background information and less academic experience than their more affluent peers. Starting on time and teaching for the full period is critical. If students lose just 5 minutes getting started and 5 minutes in transition at the end of the instructional period, that's 10 minutes a day that they never get back. And if students lose 10 minutes a day over the course of the year, their progress will be delayed by approximately a lesson a week or a quarter of a level by the end of the school year. After 4 or 5 years, these students will be a full level behind their peers who are taught for the full instructional period every day. Instead of being at or above grade level, students leaving the elementary school will be below grade level in terms of performance.